All right. Okay, I've sent you out a couple emails today. I want to explain what we're going to be doing today. Several people are still having problems, including me. I've got the weather app, but I'm having a problem getting stuff to print with the movie app, and I don't know why. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at the weather app. For those of you, a couple people had sent me emails and said even with the weather app, they can't have anything print. So I'm going to show you every bit of my code for both of these programs. And then we're going to take a look at yet another program. All right. So as it says, yeah, my hope is that we complete the React only portion of the class tomorrow and then move on to our MERN stack project that we'll be working on. So the other thing that I sent you too a little bit later was I sent you this. So I said we're going to go over the React weather app. We're going to go over the React movie app. And then I attached this thing I found online. And it's interesting too because I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out why sometimes when I go and find something online, it works. And when I do it, it doesn't work. And it could be a lot of things. But one of the things I've noticed is they've got some different versions of the software than I have. All right. If we get through all that today, and I have no doubt that we will, all right, then I do have your next assignment here. I did not send it out, but I will send it out by the end of the period today. So you will have that as well. All right. So with that said, I'm going to start, and I know you guys have seen this already. All right. But if I go in here, let me go back to here. And I put in, this is the React weather app. And again, it's not made up at all.
Mr. Scott, you're not sharing your screen.
Thank you. Got it now?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. So if I come through here and I do this, all right, I get the location, I get the temperature, I get the current conditions, the wind, and the humidity. And as I said, you can change this. You can go out and add anything you want. You can add the icon. I'd like you to at least try to do that. You can, I'm imagining that you're going to either create a background image on here, especially if you're not going to include the icon, or you're going to include some color in here, etc. All right. So taking this from the top, all right, again, nothing in here, nothing special that was added, okay, that I can think of at least. So let's just go right into the source and take a look at what's in there. So I'm going to bring up the index and I'm going to bring up the app. All right, the index is pretty darn simple. As you start getting more and more information, as you start creating more and more complex React applications, this is what's really going to change in here. All right, you may or may not continue to have an app like that. You might not. But the whole idea behind this is you're going to start building components. All right. And if you say, I don't know what you mean, you will in just a couple minutes. All right, so let's just jump up to the App.Js. So again, this is my program, about 60 lines. So this again is being done for those of you who still, for whatever reason, yours still is not working. All right, so there is a call in here to Axios. The reason I'm saying that is, first of all, if you want to be basically working with state in a functional app like we have right here, all right, so if you want to be doing that, you need useState. Now, not in this example, but in the next example, the movie one that we'll look at, we also use useEffect. All right, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit as well. All right, and then we brought in Axios. So of course you've got to install that. All right, and in our app.css. All right, so here were our two state variables that we're working with. The data is everything that gets returned from the call that we've got right here in line 9. So it's everything that gets returned is put inside of data. All right. Location, on the other hand, is just what we end up putting into that text box that's in there. All right. Okay, so taking it from the top then. As it says there, if we put in something and we hit enter, that's what this is saying right here. All right, with that location search. So in other words, if we come in here, I know you've seen it already, but if we come in here, you'll notice there's no buttons in here. Can you change that? That's up to you. All right, if you want a clear button or something else, I don't know. But if I come in here and I type in Nashville and hit enter, this immediately clears. Everything changes to the way it's supposed to be changed. But the key thing is there's no button here that says perform search or do whatever. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because all that stuff is actually happening right there. All right. So what we're saying there is if the event that's happening is you hitting the enter key, then what we're saying is make the call to App.Js. All right. And again, this could have been done just as easily with a fetch. In fact, I thought of having you do that one for this assignment, but I changed my mind on it. All right. But if you wanted, you could change this to a fetch call as well. Fetch has worked forever. All right. And what I mean is basically fetch has been around almost as long as JavaScript has been around. Axios internally is considered to be a better way of doing things. All right. So we do all this and then we set the location. This is what clears it out. All right. So we're saying if you hit the enter key, do the search based on, so what's going to happen is whatever you put in there for a location is going to replace, or that's what's going to go into here. All right. We set our units up so they're American. We've got our app ID. Again, that ID is going to change or should change to be your ID. All right. And the only reason I say that is if you did have problems with this, if you decide that you want to put this project out on your portfolio, it's going to be important that you have a working key in there. And I am going to disable my key at the end of the semester. All right. So that the next time I teach the class, I can either use grab another one or I can enable it again. All right. So this is what we're returning then, starting on line 24. And again, I probably went a little nuts in here with the divs. All right, but it's totally fine. So our class name is app. This, again, everything that's in here, all right, that's all the stuff that's in that search box itself. So again, it's an input box, and the value that it's going to hold is location. All right, that location was what we grabbed from up here. That location and this location are the same thing. All right, it's a type text. I put a placeholder in there. Okay, and on key press, all right, what are we doing? We're doing the location search. Well, it's going to jump back up here and it's going to say, okay, what key did you press? And it's not going to do anything unless the key that you pressed right there, unless that key that you pressed is the enter key. All right. So then we get down to here. And as it says there, that's the weather info. And this took a little bit of playing around to get it to work. And you'll notice that virtually in all of these, in other words, the location, the temperature, the description, the wind, and the humidity, which is all of them. What I'm saying is if you find something, show it. If you don't find anything, leave it null. All right. And occasionally when you do go out to these sites, they may not have something for a certain city. There could be a lot of reasons for that. Or maybe it's the site's down, period. But null just means show nothing. So again, our location is in this div right here. Our temperature is in this div right here. I manually added the word degrees in there. As I mentioned to you, it would be kind of nice if you use the degree character, which I thought think I said was either Control Shift F2, I think it is. That adds the dot, the little circle above the temperature, and then you could just put in there F for Fahrenheit, or you could type in the word Fahrenheit. All right. Then we've got our description in here next. And again, if you don't like the description, I mean, it's, a lot of times there's not much in there. It just says cloudy or whatever. As I mentioned, you can put anything in there that you want to put in there. It's your call. All right. With the wind speed, I put in here, try that again. I put in here the MPH for miles per hour. Just like for the humidity, I put the percent in there. This should read and look professional. That's about all I can tell you. It should both read and look professional. Now, for those of you watching this, if you say, I put in all the code that you showed, I did it, and it's still not showing anything, then what you are going to have to do is you are going to have to go and put this out on GitHub, because you know how big these projects are. And then you're going to have to email me and let me know that it's not working. If there's any kind of error, you know, give me a copy of that too, so I've got something to start with. And if there's not, I'll just start looking through it. All right. I know that several people, including some of the ones watching this video right now live, have had problems. And what I try to do is I try to, if you're close, I try to basically give you the code so that it'll work. One thing I've noticed about this, and you may or may not agree, this is, in a way at least, this is quirky software. All right. Certain times it doesn't matter if you put things in the right caseness. Other times, if you put stuff in the wrong caseness, it just won't work. All right. Okay. Any questions at all on the weather app? All right, then let's close this one down and let's bring up the next one. Now with the next one, the movie app. So let me close this too. Let me close this. First, let me kill what's running on the port. All right, let me bring up the other one. Now, I am still running into problems with the other one. Some of you may be better at going out and looking at online to try to figure out what the problem is. Maybe you're better at it than I am. Maybe you're a better debugger than I am. This morning I went in and I was trying to debug and figure out what the heck was going on here. All right. But I'll show you what this looks like now. So again, I'll get bash here. I will do my npm start. And what you'll notice is when I run mine, and again, you'll look at all the code in just a minute. So there I just put up Avengers. If I change it to Harry Potter. Now, notice I've got buttons here. If you want, you can remove that search button and put in code that we used from the weather app that basically says when you hit enter, like I just did, it performs the search. If you think that looks cleaner, then do it that way. But if I go here, there's Harry Potter. Okay, there's everything. So that's working. What's supposed to happen is that when I put my mouse right here, this is what everything is about to change. I don't know. Oh, the Goblet of Fire. So if I put my mouse here, over in the lower left-hand corner, it says that the ID is TT0330373. But when I click on here, it's supposed to be showing me information. It is going out to the right ID, 0330373. So it is doing that. All right, it is going out like it's supposed to. However, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. All right. So for whatever reason, I don't know why it is not providing the information. That's why I said I'm going to share my code with you right now. And please go out and look. If you find something, let me know. I've gone through this, I don't know how many times. All right. So let me go up to here. And again, when we bring in the package.json to start with here, all right, it pretty much is the same stuff that we've had. All right, I don't think I had to add anything in here. All right, and then let's go into source again. Now I changed this around. Did I have to? No. But I'm trying to get you into the mindset where React is components. Virtually everything that you do in React is component based. All right. And what do I mean by that? Well, typically you create a folder called components. So I did, and I put my movie details in there and my movie list in there. Do you have to do that? No. I'm showing you the way that I did it. All right. So let's just start. I don't think there's much in the app.js. I'd say that's nothing or not much in there. So we're not really even using the app.js. All right. In the index, and I've tweaked this, I played around with this quite a bit. All right. And we're importing React. We're importing React DOM. This has changed, just so you know. All right. What do I mean? Well, what I mean is it used to be in there, you said browser router, and then you said switch and route. That was until version 6, the newest version. The word switch has been replaced with the word routes. Why? I don't know. I didn't write it, but somebody decided to do that. All right. And then we've got our two components. Now, if you don't have a components folder, yours probably just says like import movie list from /movie list, import movie details from /movie details. That is totally fine. All right. I have no problem with that whatsoever. The other thing that changed with React version 6 is this used to say components or component right there. They changed it to element. I'm not sure if this is why, but maybe they did because you are highly encouraged to create a components directory, and maybe they thought that would be too confusing. I don't really know. All right. So this is everything that's in here. All right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to review this again to see if I can see any place I've made a problem or had a problem. So this is saying when we just bring up slash, bring up the movie list. This is saying that when we bring up slash with the ID to bring up the movie details. That's the one that's not working right now. All right. And also, just so you know this, in fact, I think, let's see, const root render, we can get rid of, I believe I can get rid of that. I'm going to check real quick. Where you put this and how you do it, whether you do a React DOM.render or a root.render, etc. It's a lot of times there's multiple ways of doing the same thing. I want to make sure I didn't break anything by doing that. I didn't. Notice it recompiled and it compiled successfully. But my guess is that when I go out to it and look at it, it still isn't going to run right. So if I come here, there's Harry Potter, but when I click details, I'm not getting details. All right. Yeah, we've got to fix that. I want to fix it. That's part of your assignment. Not that you figure out how to fix it, but that you take and you format this. All right. Well, you're not going to be able to format a details page if we can't see details. I'm going to keep looking at it. I'm going to keep working on it. Tomorrow, if I find something, I will let you know. All right. So let's go and take a look at in here the two component files. So the movie list and the movie details. All right, we'll start with the movie list. All right. And we're doing a use state in here and a use effect. All right, we're also importing navlink. I've tried this. I thought maybe this, if I put a client in here, for example, If I did that, then if I went back in here, you'll notice now it compiles, but it's got an error. It says it cannot resolve that. So it didn't like it there. Like I said, I've tried a lot of different fixes. The problem sometimes with this is when you run it and you don't get any errors. All right. But what I'm going to have to do a better job of that I'm doing right now is come in here and, for example, maybe go in to the console and start doing some alerts to see if this stuff is being set. Somewhere in here where I think something is being set, it's not. All right. So we're importing useState and useEffect. We're importing navlink. All right. And here's our search term, which is going to be what we end up typing into that box. All right. This is going to be the array of, that's going to be the array of objects that we get returned. And this is just a Boolean that we're going to be able to set if it doesn't, if we put in a movie that doesn't exist. All right. Then we come in, and the order in which you put these things doesn't matter, these different routines. But useEffect, as it says, I used local storage in there, and I used the get item to get the name that we put in. All right, and that's grabbing the name that we put in, and basically, it's going to store that, or get that rather from local storage. But we're checking. We only want to do this if there's something in there. One thing I may have or may not have mentioned to you is that when you call useEffect like this, there's 3 ways that you can call it. All right. Now, I want to mention this, and it may make very little sense to you, but at least you've heard it. If I call it like this, that means we're passing in no parameters. All right. In fact, it would be like this. We're passing it in with no parameters. All right. If I do it the way that I did it, what it's saying is the first time you call this, you want to make sure that it's set to nothing, that there is nothing in there. You can also pass a parameter or parameters into this, which get passed then every time it's called. I have tried doing it all 3 ways. All right. And I couldn't get it to work regardless of the way that I did it. All right. This URL is the one that's working right there. So this fetch is working. And what it says right there with that particular URL is, again, we're going out to the omdbapi.com website. We are passing in the movie name that you see from right there. All right. And we're giving it our API key. All right. Then, as opposed to doing a get item, we're doing a set item next, placing the movie name into local storage once we fetch it so that we can get it again later. All right. So there's the fetch. You should notice if you look at that, it is very similar as far as the way that you write it and as far as syntactically to the Axios method that we did in the weather app that we just looked at. All right. This is going to return a promise. So basically it says once you fetch it, basically there we're converting it rather to JSON. And the result is either it's going to work or it's not going to work. If it doesn't work, we're making sure that we set it to an empty array and we set our movie not found to true. So again, in other words, if I put Harry Pooter in there instead of Harry Potter, that kind of an idea. All right. If we get down to the else, we put in a movie name that was there. All right. So we are setting our movie to that result.search. Okay. And we are setting movie not found to false because we found something. We've got a clear button in here. Go back and rerun it. It's giving me that error because I put in that /client. So this, whoops, this should work. Oh, I thought I changed that. Let me get it back. See if that fixes it. Whoops. All right, it's a movie list where I want to get rid of that, not in here. There, I didn't save. That's the problem. All right, there we go. So we've got a clear button here. All right, we already talked about what happens when you click search, what happens when you click clear. We call the set operator for our movies and we set it back to an empty array. All right, we have nothing in the search term, so we set that equal to nothing. And we remove the item that we put into local storage out of local storage. So what all of you, what all of you should understand is what happens. So if I come in here again and I put in, I don't know, Avengers, and I click search, all right, what's going to happen is basically it's going to throw this inside of local storage and it's going to grab it and it's going to grab me the Avengers movies. All right. And when I click clear, it clears everything out. I guess I didn't clear this. All right. But we could have. Okay. The idea of leaving this in here like this was if we did this and we click search. All right. Not even sure why it's saying that right now, but it is. So let's go back. Oh, I know why it is. Okay, we'll talk about it in a second. All right, so that works. But when I click clear, that should have cleared and it didn't. But remember, I took everything that was in local storage and I've removed it. So now when you click search, that's why it says movie not found. So technically right now, other than remembering to clear that, everything is working the way it's supposed to work. All right. So handle search term change. That's, as you'd guess, when something does change. So when are we calling this? Well, down here, notice we're calling that when the text changes, basically, all right, in our text box. But we're not instituting anything until we click the search button, because that's the way that this particular program has been written. All right. Okay. This is basically filling up the movie items. So the movies.map is going through there, and it's so for Harry Potter, there's 9 or 10, there's the movies and there's a couple of other things in there that when they had their special and there's something else. So it's grabbing each one of those. And then it's filling it up, all right, for each one. And notice here, movie IMDb ID has to be that caseness because it's grabbing it from the database. If you go out and look in the database, that's the caseness that's used in there. All right. So we bring the poster up, we bring the title up, and we've got a button underneath it that says details. All right. And again, you'll notice that we've also got this nav link in here. So that's what surrounds this. In English, what that is saying is, hey, whenever you go in and you click that button, you should go to where you currently are, but then append onto that a slash and then the ID of what movie you're currently on. And that does appear to be working. It's not resonating anything, but that part at least appears to be working. And then we've got our return. So if I'm missing something and you see it, for gosh sakes, let me know and I'll share it with everybody. I'll be more than happy to give you credit. So this, what do we have in there? Well, we've got our search. We've got our clear. All right. And with our search right here, this is that text box basically. This is our button that says search. And this is our button that says clear. This right here is what is supposed to be showing all of that movie information, but it's not. This you just saw, that when we put in a movie or when once we cleared out local storage and we tried to put something in, all right, and hit enter, okay, it wasn't set into local storage, so it came up with movie not found. All right. So again, very quickly, those of you, because I said, one or two of you have emailed me and said you're having problems with this particular program. All right. In fact, one person is having problems getting anything to print on any React program. So there is the code for the movie details. And there's a little bit more. It's right here. And then here is the code for the movie list. And again, I'll have to show it. I'll leave it up there for a second. We've got this. And then finally, we've got, well, I guess we've got this. And then finally, we've got this. All right. Are there any questions on anything that's on the React movie app? All right. Then what I'd like to do first here, I'm going to close all this stuff. All right. And one of the things I sent you today was this. This is an article that I found online when I was Googling. It is about almost exactly a year old. But notice React Router v6 with a project. All right. We're going to try to write this, but we're going to change it around a little bit. And I'm not going to lie to you. I followed their instructions. All right. And once I followed their instructions, and what I'm about to show you, I sent you, because it's shown at the end of this, but I actually sent you a working copy of this. All right. So this is, it's in my downloads folder, but I'm going to do it here. So I want to show you what's supposed to happen. And then we're going to try writing this together and see if we can make it happen. And again, if I'm putting something in there wrong that you ever see, please tell me. All right. It's kind of an awkward example, to be honest with you. All right. So it says home component. You click all courses. All right. And then you can click courses or you can click bundles. If you click courses, you get these 5 courses. All right. If you click bundles, all right, it breaks them up into 2 different areas. Okay. And you'll say, well, that's it. No, there's a little bit more. If you click courses and you click on an individual course like this, well, it's blue. Yeah. But if you come down to here, notice you get this course name, more info, and that's a link. And you get this and test course, and you click there and you get that. All right. What is this? Who cares? Well, we're going to change this. So what we're going to put in here for courses are the 4 courses that are in the Rankin Technical College AWD program. All right. And the idea is, for instance, if you click here for this will be AWD1111 Web Development Technologies. And when you go down here, that will give you the description for the course. All right. One of the things I'm providing for you on the homework are the names and the descriptions of each one of the courses. So you can just plop those in. You won't have to worry about going out and finding anything or anything else. All right. But that's the way it's supposed to work. I wrote it up this morning and I had a lot of problems with it. All right. But this does work. So you've got a working copy you can start with, but we're going to actually start from the beginning. All right. And we're just going to follow the steps. You've got the article that I gave you, but I'm going to also put it up on the screen. I'm going to bounce back and forth between creating stuff ourselves and then looking back at the article. So the article is right here. All right. And this guy or gal, I don't know who it is, Nabindu Biswas, wrote a one for V5, but now we want the latest and the greatest. So we're going to follow their stuff in here. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and from our desktop, I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to do a new and I'm going to do a git bash here. And I'm just going to drop that command in here. I'd like you to do the same, please. So npx create react app router v6. Hit enter. You know what's happening here. There's no surprise. All right. It's already creating the folder right there. Just about done. All right. So the next thing it says that we want to do is we want to install router version 6 into the project. All right. I didn't know if we had to do this, but again, theirs works and mine didn't. So here is my router v6 right there. So I'm going to open that up. It's going to close everything else I've got up there. Open it up right here with a git bash here. And then I'm going to paste that in. npm install, you can just do an I. We all know that, but there. So there's that. All right. So we've done all that. We've got one page done out of the 16 pages. All right. So next it says to do, and I wish you guys would get used to doing this, that if you're not going to put anything in App.Test.js, if you're not going to use the logo.svg, if you're not going to put anything into the report web vitals, and if you're not going to put anything into the setup test, you get rid of them. So that's what I'm going to
Mr.
do
Scott,
next. Yes.
The reason I don't get rid of that stuff right now is because I got rid of it one of my projects and then nothing worked at all. And I had to just remake it and then it worked. Like my code was perfectly fine. It's just because I took those out. I don't know.
Okay, I believe you. I've never had that happen, but I believe you. Then keep it in. That's not a problem then. I wouldn't take off for you leaving something in there. It's just that, if you're not using it, technically it's extraneous. But that said, if taking it out is screwing up your program, no, then leave it in. That's fine. All right, but I will come in here and make the typical changes in here. So in source, I'm going to get rid of app test. I'm going to get rid of logo.svg. I'm going to get rid of report vitals, and I'm going to get rid of setup tests. So they're gone. Then I'm going to go into index.js. And of course, you have to remove this line. All right. And you've got to remove the call down here. All right. So save that and open up app. And in here, the only thing is we don't need the logo. All right. And in here, we're going to get rid of everything. And I'm just going to replace it for now with an H1 tag that says hello. And we're going to change all that, of course, in just a bit. All right. So we've got that. I should be able to come in here and do an npm start. I shouldn't get any errors. And it should come up and say hello on the screen. There it is. Okay, so far so good. No problems, so far at least. All right. So I'm just going to continue on. Now I could put this in Visual Studio Code. I just like the fact that I can make it nice and big here. I think it looks better. Maybe you don't agree. All right. Okay. So that's all been done. We cleaned up the index. We cleaned up the App.Js. We ran it. We got home. Good. Now, all they want us to do is to create a components folder under our source folder and put the following code in it. All right. So I'm going to come in here. On my desktop, I'm right in here. So in source, I'm going to add a new components folder. And inside of that components folder, I'm going to create a file called home.js. When you create these components, they must start with an uppercase letter. So this will be just home, home.js. Yes, I do want to change this. All right. Then I'm going to bring this up, which it's totally empty right now. All right. And there we're asked to make it look like this. So not a whole heck of a lot of stuff in there. All right. But I'll see if I can knock this down and put them both in, keep them both in here. So let me do this. All right. So we want to import our app file and then function app. Make sure I'm in the right file here. Yeah, that's an app.js. We already did that. We want to go here. All right. So inside of home.js, we want to import React. We want to set this up. All right. And we want to return, and that's about it. One thing you should get used to doing in virtually every single one of these that you create is you're going to start with import React from React. All right. And then at the bottom, you're going to export default. And then whatever name you gave it up here. All right. I think ours was what? Const home. Right here. Const home equal bracket, bracket, and then our function. All right. And all we're doing in here is just we got a return, and then it just says home component in an H1 tag. Now you'll notice in here that we have written this, we have written this like this. Okay? The only reason I'm mentioning that to you is in here, you can go and rewrite that one the same way. This is using the old type of function syntax. This is using the new and improved arrow type of function syntax. They both work. You can use one, you can use the other, or you can use them together. It doesn't really matter. All right, so I'm going to save this. All right, and then next, so we put in home. Next, we are told to go and update our App.Js file. Again, when you look in here, they did it a little bit different than I've done it, and I'll try this again later too. It says here, import browser router as router. So you notice I had browser router in mind, they have router. I don't think it really matters. All they're doing right here is they're giving it an alias. They're saying that whenever you refer to something as router, like up here, that really means browser router. I don't think that makes any difference whatsoever. All right, so let's see. So there is app.js right there, not too much in it right now. And let's bring this in here. Okay. So we want to do an import. We've already got that one import. And this is stuff that hopefully at least is going to make a little sense to you. That when you set up and you've got multiple routes, we only have one, but we're going to create more. All right. So when you've got multiple routes like this, you put it in the equivalent of an if or a switch statement, but you do it like this. And by putting it in like this is telling the system, if it's this route, do this, and we'll list other ones underneath that in just a bit. All right, we put that in here, so we've got all the syntax. It brings in from our React router DOM, that's what brings in browser router or route. It brings in routes, and it brings in route. So it brings in everything that we need. This basically is just telling us that we want to use that home component. All right, so I think that was it. Let's double check. Browser router is router, routes, route. All right, from React router DOM, yeah. And then import our home component. All right, so that's all of that, but now we have to come in here and we don't want it to be just hello. We want it ideally, all right, we'll have that H1 and then underneath that, it's going to say whatever we put into home. So it's going to just say home component. All right. So we come down here, we set in our route, so they are getting rid of that H1 tag that currently is in there that says hello, and we're replacing it with this stuff. All right, so router. Okay, So there's our outside. Again, it's that, or we could have just said browser router and not done the alias. All right. And then we've got route. Inside of router, we've got routes, and then we got a route. So in here we have routes. And inside of here, we're going to have our route. I think that's everything. Let's double check. Looks like it. All right. So again, this hopefully at least makes sense to you. What it's saying here is when we go to our home, we want you to basically bring in that component. All right. So let's see if it does work. Again, if you see I'm missing anything or if I screwed up, please let me know. Sure as heck wouldn't be the first time. It says cannot resolve inline 6 in app.js. So let's look at that. I didn't put home there. I'd like to say I did that on purpose to show you what happens, but I'd be lying. I forgot to put the word home in there. All right, when I do that, it should now be working. Oh, let's see. Cannot resolve components home. Still telling me it's in line 6. Which says to me that the error is up here. I don't see anything that looks wrong with that. But since it's flagging the line right here, that makes me think it's something from up here. You know, I mean, you all know this, that if I got an error on line 6, it should mean that it's no lower than line 6. So it should be somewhere in lines 1 through 5. So I'm looking here for something that I did that looks wrong. Okay, we did put that into call it home and put it into components. At least I thought we did. Home, and it's in components. So let's look one last time at the home file. Oh, I don't see anything that looks wrong. But it doesn't matter if I think it looks wrong or not, because we can't go on until we get it fixed. So let's see. Let's do this. Module not found. Spelled right. App.Js. It sure as heck is in there. Well, I don't know. It's 1 o'clock. Let's take a break, and I'm going to try to debug it during the break. So let's come back at 1:15, and we're just going to pick it up right here. Right? So I don't see anything I've done wrong. All right, as you can see, I got it working. I don't know what I did wrong, but I just went back and redid the home file and then it worked. Like I said, I don't know why that would be, but it was. So. All right. So it says that we had to update the app. So again, what you're starting to see here is the ability to bring in multiple routes in here. All right. Different routes for different pages, for lack of better words. Then the next thing they tell us to do is they want us to put in Bootstrap. I'm on the bottom of page 4 in this article here. So I'm going to go out to getbootstrap.com. My dog is going nuts out for some reason. All right, sorry about that. And then go to docs. And if we arrow down far enough in here, we get the CDN links. Grab the CDN link for CSS. We don't need the JavaScript. All right. And then what we have to do next is we have to actually go back to in our public file. So we want to open from the public folder. We want to open up our index.html. And we can do it anywhere. Let's do it right up above the title here. And we will do our, link rel equals style sheet. href equals that. I think I just did, but there we go. All right. So that should be in there now. All righty. So it says we're going to use Bootstrap 5 in our project. So open up index and put that in. So that's the bottom of page 4. All right. Then it says now we will create a file called courses.js and we'll add an H1 and a UL to it and some list items. So let's come in there and add that. So I can close this. I don't think I'll need that anymore for the rest of this thing that we're doing in here. But I'm going to go to home here and I'm just going to copy it just so I've got something to start with. All right, I'm going to do a file new. All right, and come in here. Now I've got my import React. Of course, this will have to be then courses. So will this. Maybe if you hear any of that, maybe you know why I hate my dog. All right, then we want to return in here. We don't want to be returning this home component, so I'm just going to get rid of that. But I'm going to come in here then. And we've got a div with a class of container. We're going to have a div with a class of container for just about everything, or class name, because again, we're using Bootstrap. All right. And then in here, we will have an H1 that says my courses. All right. And then in there, we're going to have an unordered list with a class name of list group. All right. And we're going to have 4. We're not going to use the ones they have. All right. So I'll show them all to you. This is list group item. And the first one will be AWD1111. Web, smaller. Web development technologies. And let me make that smaller so you can see it. I'm going to copy that. And we'll have, you know what they are. They're 1100. They're the one you're in now. And the one that you'll be in next semester. All right. So let me grab those names from here. let me move these over and I can make them bigger. I'll bring them back again. So. There you go. All right. So again, we're just putting an unordered list in here. All right. And we're going to have the 4 courses that are in the program. Okay. Give you a second to put that in. And then we have to go back into App.Js. It says we have now created 2 routes. One is the normal route to show the courses component. The other is a new feature that's going to have navigate in it, which we are going to give the path /apps, which will go to the courses route. Now mine worked here, but it didn't work exactly the way that they showed it. So I'll show that to you in just a second. I should have emailed you this assignment during the break, then you could have just copied them over yourselves. All right, hopefully you've had a chance to put that in.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. I'm on the last line right now.
Finish?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Clayton, are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let me save that and I'm going to go back. Whoops. I got to save that. And that is courses.js in my components folder. All right. So that should be okay now. Go back to app.js. And we're told that we want to do 2 things. First, we want to come into here and where we've got all this stuff, we want to add here, navigate. All right. So add that, navigate. And then we want to put in another route. All right, we're going to put that, we're going to change around our original route a little bit, and then we're going to put in another one. All right, so let me come into here. Let me double check here. We just did that. We're up to here. All right. There we go. There's one. And the other one is just going to be the courses /courses. And this will be in here. This will be courses. All right. Give you a second to put that in, and then we'll talk about what that means. So basically what we've done with the first one in line 10 there is, again, we've done the equivalent of creating an alias. This says that if we go to /apps, we should end up in courses, or if we go to /courses, we should end up in courses. All right. So ideally, at least, this means that we can get there in two different ways. All right. So let's go back to, well, let's start by going back to here. And of course, it's telling me I've got errors. So let me fix this. All right, error in App.Js. So it's saying mod build failed, unexpected token. All right, in line 10, in was that index.js? What was that? App.js. Well, let's compare it with what they had in the book or in the article. See if something is wrong. All right, route path equals /apps, element equals, I don't have right here. Hope that's all the only problem there was in there, but let's see. Well, the good news is that will fix the problem. The bad news is we got the same kind of thing again, where it says that it's coming up successfully, but it's not showing me any output. All right, which is, of course, not a good thing. Let's just take a look at what's in here. Looking for something. There's nothing syntactically wrong with this, because it would have shown me an error otherwise, and it did not. Well, actually, it may be working. Now, if we go to courses, not showing us anything there. And if we go to apps, not showing anything there either. Well, that is not good news. This is what's supposed to be coming up right now. It should say my courses, and underneath here, it should be AWD1000, AWD1100, AWD1111, and AWD1115. All right, well, we can't really go on until we get that fixed. So, yeah, I'm going to look at that, and I want to compare that to what I have, because I didn't see anything where I made a mistake. This is the only one I changed since it was working, so it's got to be in this file. I didn't misspell navigate. That should have given me a different error if I did. Ah. Right. Hopefully that should, I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but hopefully it makes sense why it wasn't working. We were referring to something, and that something that we were referring to, we had created, we had exported it, all right, but we never imported it into what we were doing. All right, so that was on me. So let's see if that changed anything. It says home is defined but never used. That's okay. There they are. All right. Now, I'm asking because I don't know, and I got to fix those slashes. I'll fix that in a second. But did you get yours done? And does yours look like this now?
Mine does not, because whenever I do an npm start, it says missing script start. But if I go in my package.json, it's there. So I'm not sure about that.
Just you're just typing in npm start and it's giving you an error on npm start?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I just open a terminal and it says, I'll do it right now. npm. Yeah, it says error, missing script start. And it's asked me if I meant like npm star. So.
Okay, well, I guess the first thing to do then,
Actually, I had the same issue.
you have the same issue. Well, I shouldn't have changed what I just changed on there, so let me fix that. All right. I think this is what it's supposed to be looking like now. Oh, what does that like? Come on. Okay. What is the exact error?
The exact error says missing script, and then in quotation marks it says start, and then it says, did you mean one of these, npm star? And then that's it. I mean, I can send you a screenshot of it.
Why don't you do that right now? Because I'm trying to think of what the heck the problem could be. So.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, I had the same error as him.
Okay, well, we'll do the best we can to get it fixed. Fine. Oh boy.
Okay, I just sent it.
Ready. There, I got it. See, I'm getting mail from you. So why wouldn't you be getting it from me? I don't know. All right, let's look. Okay, I think, let me look real quick in mine. Remove from yours, I don't know if this is going to fix it or not, but remove line 11 from your app.js, the path that's got just slash on it, element equal home. I'm not sure if that's going to fix anything, so let's see.
No, that didn't fix anything.
Yeah. try Googling the error. Okay, it's saying there when you ran this, are you running it from the right folder? In other words, don't run it from inside your components folder. All right. You
Okay,
want to
I
run.
mean, I'm running it from my the actual app.js. So
you're running it right from the actual root folder, router v6.
no, I'm in I mean, I have it all open, but I'm in source and then app.js. That's where I started it from.
No, don't start it from there.
Okay.
Start it from, go up. So you're actually in the router v6 folder and try running it from there. I think you've got to be in the same folder that your package.json's in, and you're not.
No, that didn't work either.
You get the same error?
Yeah, exact same here.
Oh, you were there. It's according to this desktop React route. Yeah, you were in the right place. Script start. Gosh, I've never seen that before. I think what I showed you is where I am, isn't it? Yeah. I'm running mine from home. Start. Close the one I didn't want to close. No. All right, this is what they suggest. Now, it could be something that's just weird that's set up on your system, but it shouldn't be. All right. Both of you, try to do this. So get to your, go to your GitHub line, your git bash here line, and run that command. No, don't do that. What they're saying here is, it says global installs of Create React app are no longer supported. We're not installing it globally. It says now do it that way. We don't have to do that. You created your command with the npx, so it should be in there. All right, do this if you would. All right, open up. Let's go in and open up your package.json file. Maybe you've already done this. And get down where I am here on line 15, where the scripts. Do you have all 4 of those scripts in there?
I do, yeah. It's word by word from what yours is as well. So
Because that doesn't make any sense, because you're running it you said you are running it from the right place. You're running npm start. There it is. And am I right, Clayton? Yours is in there too? Figure out this is kind of neat. I never had these errors before. So.
In my package JSON, there's only one. Now my package lock JSON, there's a bunch.
No, it would have to be in your package JSON. And in your package JSON, you should have in there. I don't know if you can manually put those in or not. It won't hurt anything, but you should have all of this.
No, I don't have that. That's
Now, both of you, when you first
wait.
created
Never
the
mind. I
project,
do have that. It's okay. It's in my router one, my router v6 one.
it's not in package.json?
It's in package. It's in package.json, but it's
Okay.
not in the main one.
It's not in scripts. Is it in here?
No, it's in my router.js and in package.json. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to tell with the notepad. Like I have that. I do have that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that. React script start, React scripts build, etc.
But this file, the package.json file itself, that is
Yeah,
right.
I have two of them.
You have two of them in the same file?
No, they're. Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot of it real quick.
You have two of them as well, John?
I do not have two of them.
You do not.
No, I only have just the one.
It's kind of interesting. You're getting the same error, but it sounds like you got different. Your scenarios are different, so.
All right, Mr. Scott, I sent you the screenshot.
Okay. All right, just got it.
Do you see what I mean, Mr. Scott? I have two of them. I have one in my router v6, and then I have the two that's outside of it. The package JSON, the package log JSON.
I see the ones here. All right, you're
Yeah.
saying that you have these someplace else?
Yeah, well, I don't have it. See, if you look on the left, like in the where, yeah, there's
Over
see
here?
how there's see the bottom two. That package JSON has just one thing in it, and it's not. It just has dependencies in React router DOM.
So this right here is the. This package JSON is not this package JSON? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh, I see there. It's from right here, you're saying. So you got one here and you've got one there. All right. Okay. This one right here, in fact, both of these you shouldn't have. All right.
Okay.
Are both of these, I'm looking at this, both of these are under your source. Is that correct?
No, it's under my router v6. The two that you're hovering over is under my router v6. They're not in my source.
Oh, let's look at mine because I don't think I've got anything like that. Not that I saw. Yeah. Well, worst thing that's going to happen is we got to rebuild it, and I don't think you'll have to anyway. I would remove
What
Both of
should
those.
I take that stuff that's in that one that you're looking at currently in the screenshot and put it into the bottom one and then just delete those two?
Yeah, you could try that. Yeah, if the other ones are empty, yeah, that'd probably be a good thing to at least try. Yeah.
Okay.
John, I'm still looking. See if went through a couple things on here to see if there's anything else that people are showing, because I've not seen that before. All right, and for both of you, we can also do this. So let's try this quick. There's a bunch of stuff. Oops. Did that do anything, Clayton, or are you still working on it?
Well, it did something. I don't know if it's for the better or the worse. It says React scripts is not recognized as an internal or external command.
That's
It's not-
interesting.
yeah,
All
it's
right.
not coming up with any
Wait.
errors.
All right, we're gonna do this. First of all, let me just, for both of you, because I don't want to waste your time doing this. So hold on a sec. Well, I just had output, and of course, whatever I did, I just removed something, so I don't have output anymore. This is what I'm going to do. I want to fix this because this line right here in courses, something in here I've screwed up. So this is what I'm going to quickly do. All right, I'm going to grab mine. Got a Git folder already. All right, I just threw mine out there. I'm going to throw mine out there right now. I just made the repo. Mine should be out there now as a GitHub repo. See if you can pull that into yours. Just rename your folders and bring that in and just see if at least it works. there's one line I've got to give you, and then hopefully yours is going to look like this. And we got to remove that too.
Mr. Scott, yeah,
Yeah.
I got the same error, the missing script start
You
again.
still did.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this will do a doggone thing. Try to reboot your computer and try it again.
Yeah, I got the same different error saying React scripts is not recognized as an external command.
Wow. I mean, I thought we might have some problem with this assignment, but I didn't think it'd be anything like this.
Yeah, I don't know what I just did with that last one, but whatever it did, now it's screwing with this one.
Well, and Clayton, I would recommend that you do the same thing I told John, to just try to do a reboot. I don't know if that's going to help at all,
Okay, I will do that right now.
but I'm trying to think of, I mean, what the heck could have even happened?
I don't know, but it's weird that it's now messing with this one. You know, totally different project, totally different file and everything. I deleted mine off because I don't know what was wrong with it. There was 2 package JSONs and stuff, so I just got rid of it all.
I mean, because if you're pulling mine down, you should be getting the same output that I'm getting. You know, there shouldn't be any errors. There's that error. I should have fixed that. Here, oh, come on. Oh, I gotta save, I guess. There you go. All right. Just for the heck of it, why don't each one of you try this? Take your project and upload it to GitHub. All right. I'm going to see if I pull it over to my machine, if I have the same problems or not. Are you both there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just said it looked like you got kicked out for whatever reason, but both of you create your own. Well, you just pulled mine down. I know that. I don't know what you did with your projects, but maybe you could try to rename. What I want is I was wondering if you sent me, if you both down or uploaded your projects to GitHub and I tried them, if it's going to screw up my machine or what the problem is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
rid of mine
Okay.
because I was just gonna rebuild it because it was giving me some weird errors, and I think I really screwed up by having the 2 package JSONs.
Yeah, and I've never seen that before. All I can think of is that you ran the project once and or either when you ran it one time or somehow you weren't in your home root directory. You were actually running it from the other directory. And I mean from inside of the components directory, or the source. And if you say to me I didn't do that, I believe you. But that's the only thing I can think of as far as what could have happened.
Yeah, because now I'm getting the same error I was getting on mine on yours, which is never seen that before either. I've never seen an error transfer between projects.
No, neither have I. Now, you said you got with your error, you no longer have two package.jsons and package lock JSONs, correct?
Yeah, I don't have that, but I'm also using yours now.
The one John got.
No, I have a different one. I'll send it to you.
I mean, if we can't get this done, I'm just going to call it a period and we'll pick it up tomorrow. But I would like to, I'm sure you would too, would like to figure out what the heck the problem is. And John, yours is still saying the same error as before, that the
Yeah,
start
it was
problem?
whenever after I restart, I started up the program that you sent to me, and off your GitHub, and I got the same error. So I'm just making a new file and just seeing if it's gonna work or not.
Hi, Mr. Scott. So I have deleted my project, the one I built earlier, and I downloaded yours onto my desktop, and then I was still getting the error. So I deleted it again, and then I just re-downloaded yours for the second time, and I'm still getting the error. And I just emailed you the screenshot of it.
All right. And I'll take a look at it literally right now.
Yeah, I'm still getting the missing script start on a completely new project.
Yeah, Mr. Scott. I don't know what that's caused by.
No. Well, all right, it says to solve this error, open your terminal in your project's root directory and install the React scripts package by running npm install React scripts.
All right, Mr. Scott. I have figured it out.
Okay, what was it?
So what I had to do was I had to do an npm install React scripts.
Yeah, that's
Is
what I'm saying, because
Yep,
that's what I just did. The
exactly.
same thing as I just Googled that. Maybe you got the same thing I did, but it said to solve this error. Now, John, is that the same error you have, or do you have a different? You have this the one you showed me to begin with.
Just the one that I showed you.
All right. So Clayton, now can you run yours, and do you get something similar to this then when you run it?
No, I still get an error, but it is course is not defined on App.Js.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give you the fix for that, and then we'll look at John's. The fix for that is what I sent you, I had not saved. So go over to App.Js and add that line. That there's probably not in yours right now. But then don't run it yet, because there's one more thing for you to fix. So let me know when you've got that line in.
Yep, got it in.
All right. Then go over to your courses file, bring this up. And for some reason on the end of each one of these, I had, yours probably looked like this. You've got a double quote, and then you've got a less than sign there on each one of these. Get rid of those, so they all look just like this. Then you should be able to run it, and it should look correct. Make sure you save everything.
All right, Mr. Scott, I got some bad news.
What's that?
I got everything in here. It says no warnings, right? Nothing's bad, but it's just white screen now.
No, it's maybe okay. Make sure that when you run it, go to /courses. Don't just have localhost 3000. Go to /courses.
Okay.
And hit enter, and it should look like this then. And you should also be able to go to /apps and hit enter, and it should redirect. It should redirect you to courses.
We're all good.
Okay. Now, if you want to have it set up, you can go and put that that home component back in there if you want. So when it comes up, it says my components. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So if you want to, you can come back in there, and you can go back into your app.js file. And in here, just add another path, which is just / and have that say element equal home. Whoops. Home. Like that. If you want to do that, then you've got something that's going to run all the time, in other words. All right, that should, I think I've got it in there syntactically correct. Let me double check. So now if I go back to the home, see it says home component.
Yep, that's
I mean, if
exactly
you want,
what mine says.
Yeah, if you want that, that's fine. Now, John, let's see if we can figure out yours. All right. I don't know what happened with yours, Clayton. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know either. But it's good that we got it fixed.
Yeah. It just says missing. This looks like it's okay. I'm still looking in here for something that looks wrong. Start missing script. John, now you do have a package.json, and it is where it normally is. It's at the bottom of your program, right? Both the package.json and the package lock.json?
Correct.
All right. And you don't have anything like this where you've got scripts in there twice, correct?
No, I don't.
Okay. Oh. And yours looks just like this, is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
It's weird. It's like everything you've got is correct. You are, that's correct, right? You're running npm start from your home folder, so you're running it from your project folder, not from, you're not running it from the source folder, and you're not running it from the components folder. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's from the root folder.
All right. See, that's one of the reasons I purposely didn't want us to globally install this, because there are errors that it comes up with when you do that. So for starters, make sure that you are in the client. Yeah, we already did that. Start, so that helps. Same issue. I would take it you don't have this. The root folder doesn't have an @ sign in it, does it?
It doesn't. No.
No. Can you do me a favor, John, and take another screenshot down here just of this and make it nice and big, because I can't change the size of this. And also, I guess do one of this too, and then send it to me.
Okay, I will.
All right. And I mean, we're looking at it right now. I'm trying to figure out what the heck the problem is so we can go on. Yeah, they mentioned this. I take for granted that when you ran it, you didn't actually type in npm create or create React app or create React app. But I mean, you know what you're doing, so that shouldn't be the problem. What I don't understand is if the line is in there, why it wouldn't execute it. And you said it didn't matter whether you used the one I gave you or the one you wrote, correct?
Yeah, it's just like any React apps.
Is it giving you that? Did you try to like bring up your weather app or something like that and just make sure that,
No, but I can do that in a second. I'm just about to
okay.
send you this email.
Okay. The other thing I'd recommend is before you even do that is to make sure that you go in and run the npx kill minus port 3000 command. All right. That way, if you do have anything that's running, it should stop it right away. I would run that. Yeah, that's definitely correct. And it looks like it is. I mean, it's in here, so it's outside. It is in your root.
So I opened the weather app. I don't get the missing script error, but I get a bunch of no module errors.
Okay. I'm just asking because I guess I can't see it that well. Go back to the program that we're working on, okay?
Okay.
All right, this file that's right here,
Yeah.
does that have a period in it? That is package.json, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because right here it looks like there's no dot there.
No, it's there.
Okay, that's why I said, I can't make this really any bigger, so. All right.
I mean, would you be able to like zoom in through the browser or?
This is as much as it's letting me zoom in right here.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I can try doing this. I think I know what you're saying. Let me grab both of these. See if I can do it that way. Here we go. So now you said even when you bring up something that ran before, it's not running now?
I'm sorry, do what?
I just want to be sure. Are you saying also that when you brought up a program that ran previously, it's not running now?
No, no, it's not running.
But it's something that did run before. Is that correct?
Right, right.
So like your weather app or your, the movie one or whatever that ran before, now you're getting errors with that as well?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I've had errors in my weather app, but it's not just like the missing script one. So I don't know why all of a sudden I'd be getting missing scripts in this React app.
They're all saying that's missing script. Is that correct?
No, no, no. It's just this the programs we made today.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's almost 2:30. We're going to stop for today. I'm going to keep on this. All right. And I'll even stay logged on like this. But Clayton, I mean, you're up to where I wanted us. I was hoping we could get done with this today, but that's fine. We've gone through the first 6 pages and we're going to pick it up tomorrow on page 7. But, there's no reason that you have to stick around for this, Clayton. Like I said, I'm just going to keep looking here and see if we can find something. So, all right. So we'll pick it up tomorrow then.
All right.
Mr. Cap, I just had a quick question about the. So when are we gonna start doing our web portfolio?
When are you? Well, you can start doing that whenever you want to.
Okay. Is there like requirements? Like, cause are we gonna turn it in for
Yes.
assignment?
Yeah, I'll remind me of that tomorrow. In fact, I'll send that out with tomorrow's email. All right,
Okay,
it's a
yeah,
good
because I
it's a
was
good
wanting
question.
to get a start on that, and then also,
Okay.
did you say you were gonna email me that
Yeah, let me
PMI?
try doing that right now. And you can watch me do it. So let's see. What's this? So just, I mean, I want you to see this, that, let's see, where are we here? See, you sent me that yesterday. Then I sent this back. See that? Hello, John. I sent you this yesterday morning. I'm resending it now, and it's got your name on it. See that?
Yeah, no, I see it, but that's just crazy because I don't.
Well,
Running anything.
I'm gonna grab it right now, and I'm just gonna put a forward on there, and I'm gonna send it to you that way. All right, and then you can tell me if you get it. See, I got it already. I'm gonna try doing a whole new email to you. So,
Yeah, because I refreshed it a couple times and I never got anything.
all right. So let me see. Grab this. And the weird thing is you said you did get the email from me this morning. Did you get both the ones I sent out today?
Yeah, I got the one with the link on it, and then the one that says the in-class zip, but I haven't got
Okay.
any more emails from you.
Yeah. And this one didn't come either right
No.
now.
No, and I refreshed even a couple times.
Jeez Louise. Well, let's go back. This is the one you got today. So let's see. See, I've already sent it twice. Let me grab the one that I sent today. So this is the one that was sent to everybody today. I'm going to forward that just to you. And I will attach that file to it. Didn't like something I did here, so hold on. That one didn't come either?
No, it did not.
All right, I'm gonna have to contact our help desk then,
Okay.
because I mean, I don't know what else to do. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna keep investigating this. If I find out anything, I'll let you know. I'll send you, well, I'll try to send you an email right away.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.